news Deuce is moving to nickel? I didn't.
Y'all got to start having me come first,
I didn't ask.
and then I can make sure that we don't do that. No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you like about him there, and what are his skill sets? That really kind of stood out to you guys in that evaluation process.
So it's something we talked about a little bit in the off season, particularly earlier in the season, or excuse me, earlier in the preseason. Just is that a guy that we could see giving us some snaps there, maybe at some point, and so felt like if we're going to take a look at it, let's look at it in the bye week, where he can actually come in and get a heavy dose of the install, the meetings, all of those things. He's had a background in it, doing it before at Texas A&M, so it's not like it's a blank slate type of situation. And he's one of our guys, high football IQ guy. You know what I mean? So we felt like if he can kind of hold it and handle it on his plate, let's take a look and see. He's physical enough. He's got good length. He'll strike you to set an edge, but also can play in man coverage, play in zone coverage. So we kind of feel like he's got a good combination of all of what we look for at that position. So we wanted to take a look at it this week.
How much has he grown? Just because when he first got here, an adjustment to be able to do that, and you guys trust him. It seems like it says a lot about where he's at.
Yeah, that was the positive of it. When you say we're going to do that with a young man, you got to look at the outside factors just as much as the football piece, right? Can he handle it? You know what I mean? Is he going to be diligent enough to learn it, be ready to go? And the first thing when I sat down with him on Tuesday and talked to him about it, the first thing he did was smile. And he was like, "Coach, whatever I can do to help us," because I told him we got to do the best job of getting our best guys on the field, no matter what position that they're in. And so he was very receptive to it. He started meeting that day, been meeting every day since. He's also going to live in the corner world as well. I feel confident that he can do that. And like I said, his maturity from when he first stepped on campus to now is what we're proud of with Deuce, because, as you said, to feel confident enough to put him in that position, that was a conversation that we had about a day or two over the weekend, and then made the decision going into this week. And a lot of it has to do with the way he's handled himself throughout the season last year and early in this portion of the season.
Marcellus Barnes, guy that was obviously came in the spring, was hurt, catching up in fall camp. First, what have you seen from him? And second, do you feel like this bye week now allows him to really catch up and now take off?
I do. We're excited have always been excited about Marcellus. I think the big thing is, on the outside looking in, it's hard to understand is he played last year as a true freshman. Awesome, right? That's a big deal. But then he got hurt, and he missed the remainder of the season. And then his injury kept him out through the course of the spring. So he's had I think he's an early enrollee there. So he had a spring, but he's had a full season, and he's had a summer, you know what I mean? So he's still almost like a freshman, so to speak. There's some things that we wanted to see from him as far as him learning the defense, the expectations of how we play on the outside, what we do. Very instinctual player, does a great job of showing that in the process of playing. But I'm really big on making sure that those guys are able to be successful from a confidence standpoint, just because the worst thing we could do is rush him out there and say, hey, you need to be this guy, even if you're ready or not. Damage his confidence, and then we've lost it for however long. And now we're working to get it back. That's the good thing about young guys. He's got high resolve, and then those guys are extremely confident. And so we're excited to see him, his rep count, play count pick up, and become what we thought he would be when we signed him out of the portal.
When you look at the development of like your younger guys like Zay and Jay Holly, like where are they at? Do you see one or both of them maybe getting an opportunity at some point?
Well, it's kind of like everybody kind of bumps, right? You lose one, so to speak, in the room, even though, like I said, Deuce will play in both worlds. You got to make sure that those guys are ready, and they had been, they had a good preseason camp, been kind of chomping at the bit, and so now they kind of get a little bit more of those, fringe 2 reps, 2 to 3 reps as far as group wise, and get to put them in situations where they're taking those reps in practice that are going to prepare them for a game that are a little bit more real, so to speak. And so I think that in combination with the guys that have been playing already puts us in a position where we still feel confident with the guys that we have on the outside, and you know, again, can continue to develop them from a depth standpoint.